we are back with another video. Welcome back to all of my beautiful revolutionaries. Welcome back to all the rideshare bums. And welcome back to the insignificant trolls that populate my channel. It's me, Gio, the leader of the rideshare revolution. The rideshare rock star. The captain of the 2K club. The most hated and vilified. And the realest, the funniest, the handsomest, and the beardedest driver on YouTube. And that was one hell of a long intro. Gotta shorten that up somehow. Alright. The point of this video will be how I'm turning into the Booker T of the 2K club. Hit it 3 times now. 3 times. So to the best of my knowledge, I think I'm one of the only YouTubers to ever hit $2,000 from driving. I know for a fact I'm the only YouTuber to hit $2,000 from driving 3 times. So first, because on this channel we tell, or we show, we don't tell, let's go into the proof. The proof is in the pudding. If I know how to navigate my app, because I'm an idiot. Alright guys. Oh god. What was that picture? Ooh. I swear to God, I'm seriously a caveman stuck in the 21st century. I don't belong here. Alright, here we go. Alright, let me share the Uber ones first. Sorry. Alright, this is for last week. May the 14th to the 21st. $1,709.64 for a grand total of, as you guys can see, those the numbers there. Nearly a $300 Monday, $150 Tuesday. Yeah, big numbers. And that was for 47 hours and 7 minutes. And the hourly average on that was about $36. Now let's go into Lyft. Now, I didn't cheat exactly, but I wouldn't have hit $2,000 if I didn't take advantage of one of the promotions that Lyft was running last week. And that was, Lyft had a promotion for $265 for 30 rides. Now, my original plan was, and any of you who drive for Lyft in Chicago will know this is an effective plan, was to go to Northwestern University or go into the low-income areas and just turn the app on. And I could have knocked out 30 rides in, no joke, 6 hours. Because it's all really short Lyft lines. And I just didn't do that. I was tired last week. My sleep schedule's still a little goofed up, and I wasn't able to follow through on that. So I ended up knocking out those Lyft rides Friday and Saturday. And the difference of my total earnings on Lyft, which is why I call Lyft the amateur squad, was, if you guys can see here. Okay, so for Lyft, I made $387, which we're gonna take away some of that money in a bit, for 30 rides in 12 hours. Now here's what you gotta look at. You gotta look at the guarantee, right? The guarantee says that Lyft gave me $50 because I only made $315 or $215 for 30 rides on Lyft before the guarantee. So they matched the guarantee like they're supposed to, and I got an additional $50 from them. And I also got one streak bonus for $6 and $12 in tips. So my total Lyft earnings, and there's a bonus in there for something, I'm not entirely sure what. So my total Lyft earnings was, so let's take our calculator out, shall we? So 387.14 minus the driver referrals, which was 94.46, because we don't add those because that's not driving money. So I made, for 30 trips last week on Lyft, I made $292 in 12 hours, which means I took a real cut and pay on Lyft because I know my worth, and it's worth more than that. So I made that much on Lyft. So if we add $17.09 to that, I'm not even going to add the change. So there you go, guys. $2,001.68 and a $20 cash, or $20 total in cash tips for about 59 hours on the app. That is my best week ever in terms of the time it took me to hit $2,000. I honestly didn't think I was going to be able to do it again in nice weather, and I honestly didn't think I was going to do it again driving overnights. But like I say, when you're an expert and you have the market memorized and you know exactly what to do, then it just gets easier. Like I've been saying for months and months and months and months and months. And I don't know if those of you are out there listening, but just like anything, if the more time you spend doing something, the easier it gets to get the end result, to get the results you want. And right there, I just proved it. $2,000 for the third time. I was excited as fuck when I got it. I couldn't believe it. Sometimes I surprise myself. But I have been getting pressure from some people and from some of the revolutionaries to talk about how I do it. Now here's the thing, if you go back to my first, I would say my most informative videos are like the first 6 or 7 I put out there, where I lay out my strategy pretty like closely. And I have adjusted my strategy since then, obviously, because I started doing overnights, but my strategy has more or less remained the same since my first video. So I guess and also you guys have to understand, I absolutely fucking hate repeating myself. So, I mean, a quick rundown of my strategy. Mondays and Fridays, you have to be absolutely positively, go back. If you want to make $2,000 in Chicago, because I don't know if you can make it in other cities, here's what you're going to have to do. You're going to have to tell yourself, I'm going to make $2,000, and then you're going to have to commit at least 60 hours to that goal. You have to be ready and willing and able to spend 60 hours on the app. If you are not ready, willing, and able to spend that much time on the app, then you will not hit $2,000. Just not going to happen. If you think you're somehow able to make $40 an hour on the app and do it in 50 hours, be my guest. It's not going to happen. This is not the channel where you come to for false hope. This is where you come to for information. Now, if you want to hit $2,000 in Chicago, so be prepared to drive at least 60 hours. And Monday morning at 4 a.m., you better be downtown ready to drive. You can't be close to the city. You have to be downtown ready and able to drive. So Monday, just like every weekday, this is my strategy. At 4 a.m., I turn the app on, and I just let the app lead the way. Usually, during the week, you're going to knock out 1 or 2 airport rides before 5:30, okay? You might get lucky with a rematch here and there. Rematch is never guaranteed. And this is something you guys might disagree with me on. If I don't get a rematch, I drive right back to the city. And a couple times last week, I actually, as soon as I left, like where O'Hare takes you out of the queue, I would get scheduled rides from the suburbs, and some of them were kind of far away. But I was like, you know what? I'm trying to stay busy. I'm trying to save money. And if it's a scheduled ride, then it's going to the airport. So let me take this ride, and maybe I'll get a rematch then. Both times did not get a rematch. But again, If I don't get a rematch, I just leave. I drive right back to city. I eat the gas. I mean, you guys are free to disagree with me on that one, but it's getting a little warmer here, so let me turn on the air. Or let me roll on the window. You're absolutely free to disagree with me on that. I don't care. That's just how I do it. Because here's what I'm trying to ignore. The traffic from the western suburbs and from O'Hare going towards the city starts to get heavy between 5:45 and 6:15. If I'm stuck in that traffic, I'm screwed. So if I'm in the city, if I'm on the north side of Chicago, at 5:30, I will set a filter for McCormick Place or Hyde Park, usually McCormick Place. And I'll just sit there and I'll take trips. Usually everyone, when I set the filter for McCormick Place, they're going to the loop, okay? And here's one thing you have to realize about destination filters is unless you get someone super close to their destination, the filter will stay on. So here's what I do. I drive people to the loop for 25-30 minutes while the filter expires, or I complete 5 trips. And then at that time, if it's a normal morning, it'll be 6:20. So 6:20, I use my second destination filter, okay? And I'll do the same thing. I'll set it for McCormick Place or Hyde Park and take trips heading south towards the loop, but I'm using these filters to make sure I do not get stuck with an airport trip. If I get stuck with an airport trip going to O'Hare or Midway before 7 a.m., then my morning is ruined, because the odds of getting a rematch from either airport between 7:30 and 8 are low. So, trying to avoid the airport at all costs. After 7 a.m., the surge in Chicago is most constant between 7 a.m. and 9 a.m. It'll drop off for little bits here and there, but usually around 9 a.m. the surge just dies. And some mornings are busier than others. It's not always there, but you're most likely going to find it during that time. So here's what I do from 7 to 9 a.m. I drop people off in the loop, and depending on where I drop them off, if I drop someone off close to Wacker, then I will head west and go on 90 west, shoot down, and I'll turn the app on around Bucktown. Okay? And that person will more than likely be heading back to the loop on a surge ride. If I drop someone off closer to Millennium Park, then I hop on Lakeshore Drive going north, and I'll turn the app on around Lakeview. And I'll get a surge trip going back south. I do that from 7 to 9 a.m. every morning. After 9 a.m., sometimes I completely stop driving. Sometimes it's still busy, so I'll do a couple more trips. And I usually stay busy from 4 to 9:30, 4 to 10 a.m. And then I stop driving. I don't really see a point in driving at that time. There is really no point in driving in Chicago at that time. Unless you're doing suburbs and you might get some random airport rides. That's entirely up to you. I don't always do that. And then lately, I'll go work out or do something, and I'll be back on the app at midnight, and I'll just let that carry through until the morning rush. So that's my strategy Monday through Friday. Yeah, lately I haven't driven the afternoon rush in almost a month, and I feel way less stressed out for it. So, oh yeah, and I did use, okay, so every morning, I don't always use both of my destination filters on Uber from 5:30 to 7 a.m. So last week when I had a destination filter left, because sometimes you get lucky with a rematch, you might end up back in the city with a passenger at like 6:30, so you only have to use one of your filters to avoid an airport ride. So I believe this was was that a Wednesday or a Thursday? No, it was a Thursday. Yeah, I had a filter left in the morning, and I used my Hail Mary strategy. I was in Bucktown, and I set the filter for Lake Zurich, which is super far northwest, hoping to get a trip to Northbrook or O'Hare. I got a 45-minute trip to O'Hare that paid $30-something, $30, yeah, 32, and a rematch from O'Hare going back up north. So in 1 hour, I made $45. Now, the reason I did that is because in Chicago, from both airports, the likelihood of a rematch is much, much, much higher after 8 a.m. You're more or less guaranteed to get a ride directly from the airport when you drop someone off after 8 a.m. Before 8 a.m., it's the odds are minimal. I've had it. It doesn't happen all the time. But I can pretty much always count on it after 8 a.m. So, this is a lot of information. I'm sorry if I'm throwing it all at you at once. And that's literally what I do every single day, Monday through Friday. That is my morning strategy to maximize earnings. Sometimes I do things differently. Yesterday, I ignored my strategy because I got greedy and it fucked me. I probably lost $130 because I played it stupid. And I'll be the first one to admit it. Now, that's what I do Monday through Friday. Employing that strategy and driving overnights. For the last few weeks, I've been making between $900 and $1,000 Monday through Thursday, believe it or not. Yeah, I'm making good money during the week. Because you have to make good money in Chicago, you got to be willing to work the morning rush, and you got to be where the demand is, and that's Chicago. If you're complaining about, if you're saying there's no demand in I don't even fucking know. I'm in Streamwood. I'm not making money like you. What am I doing wrong? Well, first things first, you're in Streamwood. You got to be where the money's at, and the money is in Chicago. So that's how I make my money every morning rush. On the weekends, honestly, this is what I tell everyone. It's usually, lately, it's been super busy on Friday. Like Fridays, it's been surging all day. I don't usually even wake up now until 7, 8 o'clock at night after I fall asleep at like 11 a.m. or 12 p.m. So I'm missing all of the afternoon surge, which has been off the chain lately because I'm seeing these messages at the group chat. And then I'm driving overnight from 11 p.m. Friday to, 9 a.m., 10 a.m. Saturday, going to bed, going to the gym, starting back at like 11 p.m. Saturday, and going straight through to like 9 or 10 a.m. Sunday. Now, here's the thing. On the weekends, there is no real strategy. You just got to let the app lead the way. Whenever you turn the app on, just take trips. Don't, in my opinion, you can avoid taking pools so you can maintain higher hourly earnings. But lately in the Chicago market and the greater Chicago market, specifically Uber has been super busy downtown, in the surrounding city area, and in the suburbs. So there's demand everywhere. And little tidbits that I might include. They're pretty, the airport will only really consistently surge on Thursday evenings and Sunday evenings. If you catch an airport surge ride any other time, it happens, but it's not like you can't always rely on it. So the airport will be surging Tuesday nights and Sunday nights. So you have a pretty high likelihood. If you get a rematch from there, I mean, you might get lucky. You might get someone going to the suburbs and make like $45. But that's pretty much it. I mean, I covered my destination filters. I covered the hours. I mean, to make $2,000, your focus has to be on making the most money possible Monday through Thursday, and being ready and willing to work Friday morning at 4 a.m. And that's, after that, that's all on you guys. I can't, if you're not self-motivated, if you're not willing to take the time to learn the market, then you're never going to hit $2,000 in Chicago. But if you are self-motivated and you do take the time to become an expert, and you take my advice and you use your filters properly, and I would say, out of all these bits of advice, I would say using your destination filters is probably the biggest tool in my arsenal. That's the biggest weapon I have. If I didn't have the 2 destination filters in Uber, I would never, I'd still earn pretty well, but I wouldn't earn anything close to what I'm making now. So, the video is coming up on 20 minutes, so we're going to wrap that up here. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask in the comments or email me. I want to thank you all for watching. Hope everyone's doing well. And don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to join the rideshare revolution. And I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye-bye.